For more on the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore, I'm joined by Ye Hailin in Beijing. He's the director of the Center of South Asia Studies with the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Mr. Ye, welcome to the show. I want to begin by asking you about the South China Sea issue. In the Shangri-La Dialogue, we heard that France and Britain both said that they will join the U.S. in patrolling the South China Sea regularly. How do you think those gestures, those comments will complicate the situation in South China Sea?
Actually, just we already observed in the Shangri-La Dialogue, there is something positive and something negative. I think in the South China Sea issue, now the atmosphere around in the Shangri-La Dialogue is kind of the negative. Still, American, after the national security strategy released at the end of the 2017, American takes a more harsh attitude towards China on the South China Sea issue, including the Taiwan issue. So I think all the Americans' major alliance has to pick up side. Although we admit most of the EU countries, such as the French and Germany, they would like to keep the very close contacts with China on the economy aspect. The Britain is the same, but for the security issue, I think the European countries will follow the Americans' instrument, and finally they will pick up the sides to stay with American to so-called contain China. So China is ready for that. I think for the Chinese military or Chinese government, they already foresee in the coming years with after the national security strategy of the United States in the Trump administration, the South China Sea issue, the situation will gotten more hostile.
And where do you think U.S.-China male-to-male, military-to-military relationships are headed? Because China was no longer invited to RIMPAC, the largest military exercises hosted by the U.S. And at this Shangri-La Dialogue, there were some heated discussions, to put it mildly, between the Chinese and U.S. defense ministers.
Actually, even before that, such kind of the military contacts, no need to mention the military cooperation. There is no cooperation at all. Even only some contact or some courtesy event, even such kind of things is only symbolic. So cancel that. It won't change the nature of the current relationship between China and the United States. Only means from now on there is no polite manners between the two countries or two militaries. There will be more confrontation between them. So it's reflect the current situation between the United States and China. And naturally, there will be some negative impact. It's not because of them. It's only reflect the current issue.
Well, talking about South China Sea, we tend to see this, what's been described as this information warfare against China here in the West. It tends to be that a Western satellite, a spy satellite, picks up the island building activities in South China Sea. Western media picked it up and then spread it into the mainstream conversation here in the U.S. and in the West at large. What role do you think Western media play in this South China Sea disputes?
I think the Western media is just, we can say, it's a tail with the dog, not the dog with the tail. Actually, the Western media, they released such kind of stories, but this story is along with the American, especially Americans' attitude and the nature, the policy shift on the South China Sea issue. So I don't think it's because of the Western media report the wrong story, so make American government made a wrong decision. It's not like this. It's because of the White House already made a decision, and the West media is working for such kind of the policy shift.
Mr. Ye Hailin in Beijing, Director of Center of South Asia Studies with COMCAST, thanks so much for joining us.